Welcome back to the Midwest Takeoff. You know what episode this is, episode 7. I'm your host, Troop Nation.
I'm your host, Mila Topics. And you know, today and every time we do our podcast is super special. We have Akin, Affrica today, like a real estate guru. He is really Chris? Someone who's sharing gems out
Cleveland
here.
Mogul.
Yes, 32 years, okay? We have DFG so performing today.
A Christian rapper straight from Cleveland, Ohio. And this guy is awesome. And he's bringing a whole new wave to the internet, to the world, to Cleveland and the Midwest. This guy is something special. Y'all got to stay tuned to DFG Soul.
Yes, absolutely.
So we're going to get straight to it and come right in. I want to personally know, like, from when you first started your first business, like, what was that like for you, or what was your first business? So I guess a two-part question.
My first business was legal. My first legal business.
Your first legal business, yes, sir.
My first legal business, I sold clothes out the trunk of my car.
Okay, what was that fashion line? Was it anybody's, or like was it your personal brand?
Well, honestly, to make a long story short, I just came home from prison, and I was, looking for a good, solid legal hustle. Mm-hmm. I wrote a business plan while I was in prison about opening up a clothing store. So, I'm a grassroots approach type of guy. Okay. You know what I mean? Just to educate my way up the ladder. So me and two of my partners, we decided to go to New York. We all had about $500 a piece. We borrowed somebody's car and drove to New York and went to Canal Street. And whatever we can find, we felt like that we can bring back to Cleveland to sell, to make money on, we did. Mm-hmm. And at that time, everybody was wearing Coach purses. Oh, yeah. That was the hot thing. And we were able to find colors that wasn't necessarily in Cleveland fluently at that time.
Flamboyant colors.
Yeah, like the oranges and the baby blues and different things and reds and whites. So we were able to find some good quality ones and bring them back. And within one day, they were gone. And we quadrupled our money. And
do you take a lot of trips back to New York and repeat the cycle, or
it became unbelievable. I was going to New York 3 to 4 times a week.
Wow.
We had a system. It was funny because it started off with 3. Within 24 hours, I called my 2 guys and said, "Yo, how did y'all do with y'all?" Right. And one of the guys said, "Man, I sold all mine. I went and bought a couch set." You know what I mean? So I'm
furnishing my apartment with this.
Yeah, me and my other guy, he like, I only got 1 purse left. I'm like, let's go. Mm-hmm. We went back, did it again, and it became so fluent. We had a system. It was down to a T. We left Cleveland at 3 a.m. every morning. We landed in New York at, 8:40. We knew we had our route on exactly all the places we hit, and it was a system. We knew where we were stopping for breakfast, for lunch, dinner, walked it off, get back on the road, come back, wake up the next morning, get to it. It got so crazy for me. I actually had a clothing store in my living room. Wow. Because I had so much product and so many customers. They would come over there to shop at 2, 3 in the morning before they went to the club. When they left the club, whatever was going on, they called me, come through, and I had the racks and stuff set up in my living room.
See, look, that's crazy. First of all, it's so much to unpack, first of all,
I had to get the
because I feel like everything you saying is layered in discipline and structure. Yeah. And so, in general, you talked about before, like you have the prison time and things of that nature. Did that, was that the infrastructure for like your discipline? And
well, I'm going to be honest. For me to, again, kind of sum it up, I've always been a hustler, always been an entrepreneur, always been business-minded. I've only had one job in my life. I've never worked for anybody else as an adult. The only job I ever had when I was 15, I worked at Jogger Lake for about 3 weeks. And I literally went from dishwasher to manager in a 3 weeks' time. Wow. Actually, they gave me, by week 2, they gave me, actually it was probably 10 days in, they gave me my own stand. Y'all probably too young to remember Jogger Lake.
Yeah, no, we went to Jogger Lake.
Right, so it was only one restaurant at Jogger Lake, and it was called Firehouse Station. And that was the only like full service restaurant. You could sit down with the family and eat and break bread. Yeah. They had, within 10 days in, I was so business minded from obviously my background growing up in, businesses. that I was 15. They was like, "Yo, you're not a dishwasher." I was coming out the dish room, teaching everybody else how to do it. And the manager was like, "Yo, we gotta step you up." So they gave me my own stand on the side of the firehouse. So all we saw was barbecue and fruit and different things, like full slabs of ribs, and that was it. That was my last job. Unfortunately, because of the environment that I was in, I was hanging with guys that, more legal than illegal.
Right.
I mean, more illegal than illegal.
Yeah.
So I drifted back into some negative things, but, I got locked up, juvenile. I came home. I got locked back up again. And when I came home that time, I was done with the streets. The last time I seen it, talked about it, dealt with any type of drugs, I was 21 years old.
Okay.
So I got out when I was 21 and I never looked back. But from the rest of the time, because of my hustle, everybody assumed that I was a drug dealer.
Right.
Because I was fly as all the drug dealers. I wore what they wore. I kicked it with everybody that sold drugs.
Right.
But I wasn't selling drugs. I didn't deal with that at all.
Yeah.
But, I was hustling. I was selling clothes to the drug dealers, to all the dudes in the streets,
So
and I was well connected with them.
With you.
Yeah, exactly. So I bought my first house when I was 19.
Oh, wow.
My first real estate when guys was, just in the streets. I was in real estate already.
How many properties would you say you own right now?
So I count by doors. I'm over 100 doors.
You got 100 doors.
Over 100 doors.
Over 100 doors. Amen, brother.
For real.
Amen, brother. You got 100 doors. That's impressive.
Really a great accomplishment.
Man. So I seen through your social media, you have like so many different restaurants. What got you from clothes to the restaurant business?
All right. So again, I was very blessed. I was raised in a very entrepreneurial family.
So everybody
a family of hustlers.
Okay.
I was blessed. I don't know if you guys ever seen a blaxploitation movie.
What do you mean?
Ever. Any type of Superfly, Mac,
Dolomite.
okay. Any of that. I mean, any one of those movies that you ever seen, that's the environment that I was raised in.
Well,
I was born and raised on 68th and Carnegie.
Okay.
At that time, it was the highlight, obviously, of the 70s and early 80s of, pimping and horn and heroin and gambling. And, for us,
that was an everyday thing, kind of.
Especially people of color.
Yeah.
Like it was
back in the 50s and 60s, how we wear jeans, they wore suits.
Yeah.
How we wear tennis shoes, they wore hard bottoms every day.
Yeah.
That was just like
lemon pepper steppers.
Yeah. The old heads now that still coming with the 3-piece suits.
Exactly. That was rather regular clothes. So I was raised in that environment. Everybody wore fur coats. Like I was putting on a leather jacket.
Yeah.
Right.
You putting on your fur and your jewelry,
the minks.
and the minks and different things, and the brim. So I was raised in that environment. So my father was also a hustler, a street hustler, turned legitimate businessman. And he started off working at Ford. He was selling liquor out the trunk of his car, right?
The moonshine.
He was selling liquor out the trunk of his car. He was from Memphis, moved up here with his dad, and he parlayed that into after-hour joint.
Okay.
If y'all know what that is.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So back then, at one point in time, my father had more after-hour joints than any other person in Cleveland.
Oh, wow.
He had worked it up to 7 locations that he actually owned the real estate of the after-hour joints. But even to take it a step further, he parlayed that into the second largest African-American owned hotel in Cleveland, the Carnegie Hotel.
The Carnegie Hotel.
So that's where I was born and raised in that environment,
That's
literally.
King's Tower.
Yeah. So, I mean, it wasn't a hotel like, it was a hotel, it was maybe 40 rooms, 3 floors, no elevator or nothing like that.
Yeah, that's a lot in that
really
time frame.
Well, it was the second largest African-American hotel, you know what I mean? So it was funny. I just ordered, y'all ever heard the movie The Green Book?
Yes.
So do you know what The Green Book is?
Yeah, for all the stops where the black people go
exactly.
for
that's
safe
what
spots.
That's what we relied on when we traveled. And I just ordered one, and my father's hotel was in there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was cool.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really part of Cleveland actual history.
Yeah.
Your family is.
Yeah. So my mother Worked in the hotel as cleaning the rooms, fixing up the room, housekeeping. And, when he found out that she can cook, he put her in the kitchen, and next thing you know, she took over the kitchen with the soul food.
Yeah.
So she started in his hotel, manning the kitchen.
Right.
And then when he passed away suddenly, she parlayed that into, actually, she had to go get a job after the hotel because he died real suddenly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We just thought he was sick with the flu. 2 weeks later, he was gone.
Wow.
Didn't have a will, nothing. And within a year, everything was gone. We lost everything. So to the projects.
Right.
So my mother got a job at a factory on third shift. So she was taking food to the factory to sell to other people that was working out the trunk.
It's like,
It's like,
I'm gonna get a paycheck and a double check.
Exactly. So she did that for about 7 months and saved all her money and parlayed into her first restaurant, Angie Soul Food.
Angie Soul Food.
Yeah.
So, because I seen that, the before and after pictures of all the restaurants that you guys are, was it construction? So, do you own a construction business as well?
Yeah, well, I do construction.
Okay.
I don't do it for anybody else.
Right.
Anything you've ever seen on my page is my projects.
Wow.
Yeah, like at your house
They're
and
my
stuff
investments.
Like that. Or just, you talking about like at your houses?
Everything.
Yeah.
Anything you ever seen on my page is my money I've invested in a real estate project.
Yeah.
I don't do work for anybody else.
But besides yourself.
Yeah, I was about to say.
That's
like,
it for myself. And I am a general contractor as well as an investor.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you tapped in so many ways. Is it because it's just like, okay, these things, like you're in properties and things like that. So you just feel like you want to know like the ins and outs of every aspect of your business?
That's very much true to the point that it's a bad thing.
Okay.
You know,
like
I wouldn't
obsessive a
suggest
little
that.
bit?
Well, the reality of it is this, and it's funny because I'm always thinking about this when I'm doing dumb stuff like cutting my own grass and blowing my own leaves.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Doing my own child. Well, yes and no.
Okay.
Right?
He a busy man.
Because that time, the most important asset in this world is time.
Yes.
Is way more valuable than money.
Yeah.
I agree.
And how you spend your time is the most important thing. And I had to learn that. It took me a long time to learn that. So for me, I'm a businessman and a hustler, right? My time is even more so valuable.
Right.
Because with an hour, I can
flip
change.
something.
I can really change somebody's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, as well as my own. So this is what I learned, and it took me a long time to learn this through trial and error. I've had businesses, and I'll just talk specifically about restaurants.
Okay.
That I actually opened, and I was there from open to close. I did 85 to 100 hours a week.
What?
Right? I was the first one in the door, and I was the last
leave.
one to leave.
Yeah, that's an honor.
Right? And after a year, I might have only made $60,000. Right?
Okay.
And there's been times I've owned restaurants, and I was the first one in and the first one out, and I made $100,000, right? And then there was times that I opened restaurants that I barely spent time in the restaurant, and I was making $50,000 a month.
And you was barely there.
And I was barely there.
Right.
See, we have to learn how to maximize our time. And I didn't know how to maximize my time. And part of that is recruiting the right people, bringing on the right team.
Facts. It's got to be a team.
Because I'm different, because some people are just visionaries, right? Some people are hands-on, right? Some people, it can't move unless they're physically the one moving it.
Right.
Moving that down the road. For me, I can be everything and I am everything. I have to manage myself and my time to figure out, where am I really benefiting the most?
Right.
How am I maximizing my time? Me blowing my own leaves and cutting my own grass, I'll be the first to admit, is not smart at all.
Yeah.
It's really kind of stupid.
It's not maximizing your time with what you could be doing in that hour, 2 hour time frame.
I justify it by saying, hey, I put on my music, I zone out, and I roll. Because but I'm one of those guys. I like getting my hands dirty. Yeah. It's part of who I am.
Doing the work.
So for me, I like to tell people also that I kind of cheated to a certain degree in terms of who my mother and who my father was.
Okay.
My father was the coldest that I ever seen in terms of growing an empire and didn't get his hands dirty
Right.
at all, ever.
Yeah.
When I say he wore suits and ties every day,
Wow.
I seen him relaxed. One time we went to a softball game. He sponsored a softball team, and he was playing like the hotel against one of his after-hour joints, or
Right.
whatever.
Club
And
against club.
His softball gear was some hard bottom Stacey Adams, some pressed slacks,
Not the slacks. Dude.
and a button
Stacey
down
Adams
shirt.
got me. The
He didn't
Stacey
have
Adams.
the tie and the jacket on.
Right.
That was relaxed. That was the most
Wow.
relaxed you ever gonna see.
That
And he
so
still has
funny.
Stacey Adams on though.
He still has some hard bottom Stacey Adams
That's
running
crazy.
around after he hit
On
the
the
ball,
field.
running
Man.
around on the field. So, but the opposite was my mother.
Oh, you see,
She
actually
was
getting
the
in the kitchen.
hardest working person I ever seen in my life.
Facts.
That's
It's-
great balance, though.
She don't getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
getting me ready for school. Then she going to the restaurant, working all day, closing at the end of the night to
Yeah.
come home, to crash right out, to get up and do it again.
All
You know what I
over.
mean? So when I took over the restaurant brands, my mother never heard of a mixer.
Okay.
She did everything by hand, cornbread, dressing,
Yeah, like this is
everything.
like
yeah, she
where's
gonna
your
get
origin?
that
Like,
forearm
yeah.
strong.
Where's y'all from?
South
like the family?
Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah,
South
Yeah,
Carolina.
that's like
South
real
Carolina.
southern.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
very,
definitely
yeah.
southern.
South Carolina, yeah.
Yeah.
My mother, you hear the stories, we walked to school barefooted, 20
Yeah,
miles.
miles.
all
Yeah.
that. No,
That was
that's
for real. Yeah.
That's a real thing.
That was my mother, and I was blessed to spend time down there too. I spent 4 or 5 years down there.
Yeah.
You
so
gotta
I
be
got
in
that
that.
part of the hard work. You know what I mean? Working.
She
on
sent you to the
farm.
store and it was 5 miles
I was
away.
about to say, I was just being able to
Exactly.
go. Like I was able to go to Morocco. It is a cultural thing. Like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
naturally, the women over there work hard. Like they don't
Yeah.
even eat their meals until everybody is eating. Like
Yeah.
that's so you do have to definitely tap into like where your side is from.
It
Yeah.
does. It does. And it helped me.
Yeah.
It helped me be who I am. You know what I mean? But so I would say that's it. But going back to we had veered off, but going back to me selling the clothes out the trunk of my car.
Right.
Within 8 months, I had saved up about $40,000. And I parlayed that into my opening up my own clothing store.
Okay.
So that was my goal in the first place. And within 6 months, I opened up 2 clothing stores. Within a year, I was blessed and sold both of those stores. And that's why I bought a place called the Juvade.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
so
Actually, my dad owned that as well before. They
Yeah.
actually worked together.
Yeah.
Oh,
My
wow.
dad.
yeah,
Yeah.
That so you got some real Cleveland history
He
behind
definitely
you.
I do.
does.
She do too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
She do too.
Yeah.
Juvade, Carter's Lounge.
Yeah.
she
My
do
dad
too.
and my grandfather.
Yeah, her grandfather used to own Carter's Lounge,
Yeah.
which her
Wow.
grandfather was cool with my dad.
And
It's crazy. Come back full circle all the time,
like
right?
right here. And now you on the
But
show.
I really
Yeah.
wanted to mention too, just like you were speaking about your time, and just like on the deeper note, like you said your dad passed like abruptly and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Does that play like a structure and a role too, and kind of like wanting to be like prepared for anything because you never know what could happen?
Yeah. So it's funny because because of that situation, it taught me a lot, and consciously and unconsciously.
Yeah.
It definitely, it's funny. I just posted not too long ago about on my journey, I've met so many successful men specifically that didn't have their father in their life, or their father left when they were young. And I meet so many men that are not successful, still trying to figure out, and their father are in their life.
Right.
And it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It's really crazy as a man and as a father and as a son. You would think that being in your son's life would affect the most positive experience
Right.
for elevation
growth,
that you
yeah,
can.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Sometimes without a father, you can definitely
it
find your
motivates
own
you a little
manhood.
more. Sometimes it forces you to step your game up
For sure.
when you normally wouldn't.
When you gotta be
Sometimes
the
having
man.
that is more like a cushion,
Yeah.
and you get too comfortable in life.
Yeah.
So for me, again, my father died when I was 15. I mean, literally, I seen him. He wasn't feeling good. He went home to lay down, and it was a wrap. He went into the hospital.
so
He never
dramatic.
came out. So, and he didn't have anything. So we lost everything that he had within
Yeah.
1 year because he didn't have a will. He didn't have
Yeah.
a trust. He didn't probably know what a trust was back
Back
then.
then,
You know what I mean? He wasn't prepared for anything. So that was, I don't know. For me, I embraced death. I mean, literally, I embraced it to the point I had my first will and testament when I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
People don't think it like that.
No.
Was
you
it
know
because of too kind of like the life? Like
oh, no. It was, it was because of, I seen him not being prepared.
Oh,
so
yeah.
he never taught me like,
was it
yo,
when,
you
like
not.
you had your first kid?
Yeah,
Or-
for
oh,
sure. Yeah. I had a son at that time.
Okay,
you know what
yeah.
I mean? So I had my first son when I was 17.
Okay.
So yeah, I was on it. I was on it, but I was on it because I seen where he fell short. I didn't want to fall short like that. You know what I mean?
I have a similar story. Like my father's, his dad died when he was 10. So he grew up without a dad, right?
Yeah.
And so the way he raised us was, it wasn't like super like lovey-lovey.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was kind of like, you gotta grind. This world is not what you think it is.
Yeah.
When you turn 18,
Yeah.
it's gonna be hard. So my dad raised us on a system called he called it the 5-10-20 rule, basically. So you got to be 5 times, 10 times better than what I provided for you in this lifetime.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna show you this the way I did it, but now let me see you amplify it.
Yeah.
And then you teach your kids to amplify you, so
Yes.
every generation comes
Doing
better.
Yeah.
Is doing
Yeah.
better.
Yeah, I agree to that. I agree to
my,
that.
My dad been doing that my whole life. He like, you have to not show me up in a competition way, but show me that you can surpass what I did, and I provided the right tools for you. I was fortunate enough to grow up with both of my parents, but I seen different struggles throughout the lifetime, and my mom grew up with both her parents. My dad didn't grow up; he just grew up with his mom.
Yeah.
But each of them have. My dad's side of the family, 9 children. My mom's side has 18. So they was like the 4th or 5th largest family in Cleveland. You might know one.
What's
of
the
them.
name?
Last name is Lifford.
Lifford?
Yeah,
I definitely messed with Liffords before. For sure.
All family.
Yeah.
So I learned from there that if you want to be successful, you have to learn from your forefathers or what the people around you provide. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I tell my son all the time, if you only come to the level that I was at, you disappointed me. I'm keeping it real.
Yeah.
If you can't be better than me,
Yeah.
if you can't do more than I've done, you kind of disappointed me.
Right.
Because there's no excuse.
Right.
There's
You
no
have all the
excuse.
layout.
I gave them all the game, all the blueprint from day one. When they was young, I gave them the game. So it's no excuse. And that's more important than the money. Information is more important.
Knowledge, for sure.
Knowledge is more important.
I was just sitting here thinking, too, just like, being able to go and through, see, like, the generations. Because, like, my dad, like, y'all are, like, men. Like, and in general sense of, like, already having on that role of being a provider, making sure things are good, not making no excuses.
Yeah.
Alpha is.
So do you feel like, and just in general, seeing like now the generation, you just like, it's like, so I know it's such a big difference.
I don't
like,
even want to get on
you say
that.
you don't even want to talk about
I
it.
might get canceled. I don't know.
I ain't gonna get canceled. I like
you know
my
what I
restaurants
mean?
and everything.
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah,
you know?
it's sad though to see, but I understand.
You know, it's that's a
Yeah,
hard
it's a different
world in
conversation.
this
It's
world.
a different world, and to a certain degree, I kind of feel bad for the generation, and everything that generation is going through. Like, mine was pretty much.
I blame most of the music. I'll be honest. I blame most of the music because
I agree.
The era that I grew up in, I was born in the 80s, and I look at it like Earth, Wind, and Fire, the Temptations, these type of the real music that cared and showed women that, hey, I love you type of songs. There's not played like that. And these musics today, and they gear towards the youth. So the younger they are, they seem like it's the better, right?
Yeah.
But they gear towards this detrimental music towards the youth and say, hey, you don't need a man. Then you got a song. You got the guys saying shooting and killing. You got the women saying be fast and be hoes out here, basically, and you can't really tell them to be a family anymore. And the family, nobody's really project like, and a lot of these people,
is a big foundational thing. Like, people don't have that foundation.
and a lot of these people who telling you to do wrong are already married or in
I was about to
relationships.
say, those are roles they play.
They are entertainers. This is all acting, and a lot of people don't know that they are entertaining you. It's not real. None of that is real. They all pretty much are married, but they're selling you a persona for you to reenact. And a lot of you men and women are going to jail, getting pregnant young, and they are not like that at all in real life.
But keeping it real, just going back to reiterate what you said, because I was born in the 70s.
Right.
So I was blessed. I'm a real hip hop guy. Real, like.
Who your favorite artist? Yeah.
I didn't hear
No, I'm saying Jay.
Jay-Z?
Jay and Nas. Jay and Nas is my favorite too. But in terms of, I was blessed to be there in the beginning.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hip-hop.
Like, I was there, so I heard.
Hip hop is what, 50 years old?
Yeah.
It is 50.
Yeah.
I'm 51.
Oh,
so I was there when.
Like when it first started, yeah.
Rakim and all them.
Man, way before that.
He said before
you know
that.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Like, for real.
Yeah.
So when hip hop first started, you know what I mean? Like, it was all about Grandmaster Flash and Furious 5.
Yeah.
They was able to put a whole album out and didn't kill nobody.
Well, yeah.
See? We need
Put a
that.
whole album out and didn't call not one woman a B
I
or
heard
a
that.
hoe.
Yeah.
You know what I
We
mean?
need
And they
that.
would talk about the
Disrespect a
times,
woman.
too. They would talk about the police brutality.
Yeah.
And, like, awakening, like, the community and what's going on.
Yeah.
Who did that?
Anybody.
Flavor Flav had an album like that too.
I never heard it.
Yeah.
I'm not
Nah,
hip.
what
But
you
Public
Public
Enemy.
Enemy?
Your Public
You talking
Enemy.
about
Public
Public
Enemy.
Oh
Yeah.
my God,
Yeah.
that was one of the great. I
Yeah.
remember literally going to buy that cassette when it first came out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No Bum Rush the Show.
See,
that was their first album.
Wu-Tang Clan was one of my favorites.
Wu-Tang was good.
Yeah.
But to be honest, that was during when hip hop was transitioning.
Yeah.
See, I'm talking about
Before that.
true early 80s hip hop.
Yeah.
Grandmaster Flash, Dana Dang, Slick Rick,
Yeah.
Stessa Sonic, Eric B. and Rakim, you know.
Oh, he
like,
named the greats.
Yeah, for sure.
Big Daddy Kane.
Big Daddy Kane, yeah.
You know, they was
Empires.
There was so many people that can make a whole album without killing one person.
Yeah.
Without selling 1 ounce of drugs or
That's
nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's where I seen the trend. And I'm gonna be honest, in my generation, that's when hip hop went wrong.
Yeah.
To me. And I enjoyed
When they started
it.
selling
And I
the
respect
streets.
NWA.
Yeah.
I respect them to
Yeah.
the T. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But I know how music make me feel.
Right.
And I'm not easily
It
influenced.
carries energy.
It carries-
too,
it
energy.
carries
Yeah.
energy.
It's a vibe.
Yeah.
I know the people that suffered because of the music I listened to.
Oh, yeah.
How many people suffered that
Especially
I made
if you're drinking
suffered
or
around
smoking
me.
to these tunes.
I didn't even need that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was on some
Yeah.
straight
Like a-
gangster street
Yeah.
because of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably going to get into that, but I got 14 and a half years in prison.
Yeah.
3 numbers, not including juvenile.
Right.
I was in, it wasn't helping. It wasn't a positive environment at all.
So the transition from that environment then to the environment you are now, like where you at now,
Yeah.
I can already see the way you even talk that your mindset is completely different from back then, and it's like that. When did you know you transitioned to be I'm successful and I don't have to
gotta
turn
move
around?
differently,
I have to
yeah.
move differently.
Yeah.
I'm him now. You know.
Right. So just because I know it's some people that can relate to this, and I'm telling you that, again, I didn't have anybody that was teaching me these things,
Kinda had,
right?
bump
these
your head on
philosophies.
your own
Right.
type
I had to
thing.
learn this on my
Yeah.
own.
Right.
But again, I was always a hustler.
Yeah.
Always from day one.
Yeah.
Before Jogger Lake, I'm talking about 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I was hustling.
Wow.
My first job, I had to write down the information of all the cars that the prostitutes would get in for the pimps.
What?
That was my first hustle.
That's
So
a
I-
That
story.
is crazy.
No, straight up.
After the cameras, I want to know that story.
I had to write that down. You know, the type of car, the license plate, the make. That's why I'm so good with cars
Man,
now.
yeah.
I can see a car out the corner of my eye and tell you what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, that's a 1982 Mercury Cougar. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's crazy.
Because that was my first hustle. Then I used to, my father, when he was alive, my first path that he put me on, because he owned game rooms.
Yeah.
At the hotel, he had games and cigarette machines and pop machines.
Right.
But he also had them in after-hour joints, and then he had them at other people's bars.
Oh, yeah. So he had a business within the business.
He had business, and then he actually owned game rooms.
Yeah.
So one of my job was to fix the game. So when I was 13, he sent me to school to learn how to fix video games and pop machines and cigarette machines.
Is that why you into like electronics now, kind of?
That's why I am a techie person, and again, that business side. But unfortunately, because of my friends, when they found out I did it, they knew I had a gift about game machines. When Randall Mall was jumping, they had a game machine.
They had a roller coaster in that
mall.
Yeah,
they had a game room there.
Yeah.
And I used to go out there, and I knew how to bypass the door to get in the game to clean them out. So we
was out here getting them people's game.
We used to do that. So I always been a hustler since day one. I just didn't have. Well, I had the path, but I fell off the path because I surrounded myself with the wrong people.
Right.
But I didn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, back
young,
then, you pick your friends by y'all meet in class, y'all meet through situations, you meet at the boys club, you meet the girls or whatever, and that became your crew.
Yeah.
And it's hard how many, you don't learn how to separate yourself from that.
Yeah.
You know,
to this day, it's still hard for people.
So for me,
yeah,
it took me a long time to learn that. I had to go back to prison twice because I'm an alpha male. I'm a leader.
Yeah.
Always been a leader. I've never been in the gang.
You're a little stubborn.
I'm very stubborn. Yeah, I've every gang I've been in, it was my gang. I created it.
Yeah,
I was the man behind the gang.
Yeah,
I was the one leading the pack.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, right? After the second time in prison, I said, hold on, man, as smart as I am, as thorough as I am,
right.
How do I keep ending up back in this
How I keep getting caught.
Right? How I keep getting caught. And I had to look at my circle. I said, damn. And I finally learned that you can be the strongest individual person in the world. You can be that alpha, you can be that leader, you can be that guy. If you surround yourself by enough negativity, you will succumb to that. Period.
Yeah.
It's the majority wins type situation.
And they said the people we are around are mirrors too.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
Well, your net worth is your network.
Yeah.
Period.
I have a story, right? When I was a kid, and I knew I always wanted to be an entrepreneur, but it was like I ain't never wanted to sell drugs or nothing like that. But I knew I wanted to make more money.
Yeah.
Especially being a youngster. So I used to have like 3-4 bikes, right?
Okay.
And you know how you age your parents buy you new bikes?
Yeah.
I saved all my bikes.
Yeah.
So I used to rent out the bikes to the drug dealer.
Right.
Here go give me $5 for this bike and come back in an hour or two. Give me $10, and depending if it was a mountain bike, I charged $20. And $20 back in the 90s was a lot.
It was a lot.
You know what I'm saying? We had penny stores and everything like that.
Yeah,
so
of course.
I used to have a lot of money, and my parents was like, "What are you getting at?" I was at a lemonade stand, but I was really renting out my bikes.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right,
School raffle, school fundraisers.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I don't ride these bikes like that no more. So I know people who want to, and they always bring the bike back. They never. And then at one time, a bike got stolen, and the dude, he like, how much does the bike cost? 200. I just made up a number, and he gave it to me.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, cool. And it bubbled off of that. But I like the hustle that you have. I look up to that because it's like you can find a lane where you don't have to really do something illegal. You know what I'm saying? To earn money.
Absolutely not.
You can find a lane where you can get paid just being smart and utilizing the system.
Yeah. Honestly, I look at people that sell drugs, to be quite honest, is stupid. They're stupid. Seriously.
Yeah.
I look at drug dealers and I laugh.
Yeah.
It's really an adolescence game. Any kid, literally any 11, 12-year-old kid can sell drugs.
Right.
You don't have to be smooth. You don't have to be intelligent. You don't have to be slick. I mean, you stick your hand out and exchange the money. You know what I mean? So you don't get no claps for being a drug dealer.
Yeah.
When I got out the game, I used to look at drug dealers and laugh, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? In a disrespectful way.
Do you feel like because you did, you were in that lane, like, do you feel like a little like understanding of that? Or you kind of just like
I understand because it's ease.
Yeah.
It's ease. How easy it is.
A simple concept, yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not knocking
I feel you.
Anybody, but you ain't
doing much.
You ain't doing nothing. You don't get
you're
no
not moving your
accolades
mom out the hood with the pennies and pension.
and it's not worth the risk.
It's not.
I don't know. you can't find one person that ever said it was worth the risk.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like the basketball league. It's 1 million people that think they're going to go to the
doing
NBA one
Right.
day.
And
How
they
many
not gonna
people
make it,
actually
yeah.
going to make real money?
Yeah.
Most of the dudes don't ever make real money.
Right.
They don't never make no money that can change their life, especially their family life. All the drug
It's
dealers.
a continuous
plus-
cycle, really. Like, I've had people, like,
Man.
friends that have done that back and forth, and it's like you said, like, they have families, so it's like, now you going to prison and, you know, missing out on that time. You come out, your baby was 5, and now they're 10 or 15.
Yeah.
And like you said, time is just really valuable.
Yeah,
like
wouldn't
you said,
trade
you
it.
can have all the money in the world, but really time is just like, it's unexchangeable. Like,
Yeah.
People still want time.
people, they're still not happy.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, it's so dope to hear you being like a family man and actually having that time to take for yourself. Speaking of that, we always talk about mental health, of course, but like, this not the end of the show yet, but what do you do for yourself in a general sense, you know?
For your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine is very simple. I love movies. I'm a movie connoisseur.
Yeah.
That's
like
my
that
thing.
relaxation.
I have probably one of the nicest theater rooms that you can have in a home in both of my houses.
Yeah.
And here in Atlanta, that was the first thing I did was
the
built,
movie theater.
you know, $100,000 movie theater rooms.
Oh, wow.
I go in there and I can do, and don't let me be sick. Don't let me seriously have a cold or the flu. I'll be in there for 4 or 5 days straight.
Yeah.
Until
And
you
the
get
movie
better.
theater room.
I just come out and take a shower and go right back in and get something to eat. So that's where I find I get away. I get out this world. I transition into someplace else by watching a really, really good movie.
Yeah.
You got a
know
top
what I
3
mean?
movie?
Color Purple is number 1.
Really?
Color Purples.
Yeah. Malcolm X is number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. Number 3 is that's hard, but those are my top 2. Color Purple is probably because I read the book first. The book was just it was one of the books you can read and you know it literally take you there.
Take you through,
Yeah.
like,
You
you
think
visually
you're going through it. And when I seen the movie, it was just
epic for you.
and when you hear the story on how the movie was made, it'll really blow your mind.
I see.
You
I
know
didn't hear
what I
the
mean?
backstory.
Well,
I
you
never
check
heard
that.
the-
That's
Yeah,
I'm
another
gonna
story.
check that out.
And
man.
then,
then-
you also vegan too, aren't? I'm sorry, you was.
Well, I'm
you was
pescatarian.
Oh,
Okay,
pescatarian.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
pescatarian. Yeah, I'm pescatarian. So I stopped eating poultry and pork and all that when I was 21, 22.
That helped with your
Yeah,
with
30.
your mental, you feel like too, with your physical, or just more so for physical?
I can't say if it helped with my mental, you know what I mean? But definitely physically, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I can't say mentally. But getting back to that, it was a question y'all asked me earlier, when did I transition from the street mindset to the more conscious mindset? It was, again, through trial and error. Like, I was tired of going to prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't want to
And
go there.
I found myself, and it wasn't actually the last time I was in prison. I changed my life before the last time. It was the time before that when I actually got sentenced for the second time in front of the exact same judge
Oh, man.
with Sean. And the judge gave us a long spiel. Y'all two was like, I'm gonna make sure that y'all don't do time together. I'm gonna write it in
Isolate them.
y'all notes to make sure that y'all don't see each other in prison because
Wow.
I need to separate y'all two because we was back in front of the same judge again. And if I don't know if anybody has ever been through that here, but when
Not
the judge
prison, but
sentences
jail.
you, well, when the judge sentences you, the bailiff pulls you off to the side. It's a room right on the side of the courtroom, and they put you in the room, and there's nothing in that room but a table and a phone. You can't make any calls, but if the attorney comes in, they can use it. It's a very small room, maybe a 50 square foot room.
Right.
And I sat in that room, and I know I was on my way back to prison. I didn't know for how long. They gave me a 3 to 15 year sentence,
Oh
but
my
back
God.
then you can do the 15.
Right.
It was really crazy. You got to go to parole board every couple of years. So when I got in that room, I just knew like something has to change right then and there. I'll never forget. I got down on my knees right then and there and got in prayer. And I said, God, I'm not praying to get out of here. Don't get me out. What I'm praying for is the strength to change.
Right.
That's it. A very simple prayer.
Yeah.
Give me the strength and the power to change my life because I want to change.
Yeah.
But I can't seem to get over that hump and figure it out.
When you got out, you left that crowd alone.
Yeah, I said, how much every time I got to do,
right.
I'm willing to do it. I'm manning up.
Yeah.
I'm taking it like a man.
Yeah.
And I'm walking through with my head up, and I'm going to do what I need to do.
Yeah. Did you read a lot in there?
Oh, my God.
Time. But...
I ate books. I ate them like food.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. People called me the reader. I used to be walking to the bathroom with the book at the urinal.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still reading. I couldn't put books down.
What type of book? Like, what books were you reading?
God.
You got a favorite? All-time favorite?
All-time favorite. Well, the book that changed my life was the autobiography of Malcolm X by Alex Haley.
Okay.
That's why the movie was head on. But the book, when I read that, because it gave me the knowledge and understanding that it don't matter what you go through in life, how bad you are, what you do, you still got an opportunity to change.
Yeah.
Because
definitely.
he was a bad man.
Yeah, I like that.
You know what I mean?
Too.
This is Malcolm. So I mean, he's my inspiration. He let me know that.
And he was a hustler too.
He was a pimp. He
was
a hustler. He was a drug dealer. He was a
burglar.
burglar. He was a robber. He did it all. Anything you can name, he did it.
He was out there.
You know what I mean? He was out there, and he changed his life because he wanted to change. So that was very motivational for me because I was in there. I was a 2-time felon at that point, plus juvenile.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I was young. I'm like, I got a son. Like, yo, I gotta change. So I did. I went in and immediately, which is very hard to become pescatarian in prison. You got to have a lot of discipline.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they
you
don't care about your
bit.
diet. Now they do. Now they never heard of that back
Before
then. They
was
like, what, man?
Here the food.
You know you're going to eat this. So it was very hard. I changed my name when I first went to prison because my mindset was I wanted to immediately let people know I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Whatever you associate with that name,
don't even carry it over
Don't
here.
even carry it because I'm a different person. So I spent the next 3 years checking people because I was only home for a year and I had to go back to prison. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I spent it, and dudes was like, yo, damn, you back already? I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I
I
do
was
right now.
a whole different conversation. All I did was read. I read because when I first went to prison, I read everything. Donald Goins and all the BS, Iceberg Slim. I read all the crap.
Right.
Wasn't good for me mentally. But when I went back, I refused to read anything that wasn't nonfiction.
Yeah. Had to
If
be
it
something
wasn't
for your
real,
mental growth.
So I just engulfed myself in everything and anything about the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
Civil rights, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X,
those are real
Africa,
structured
you know, to
organizations.
learn about my
for
history.
sure.
The more I learned about who I was, who we were as a people,
Right.
a people of color, as African Americans, I embraced that more and more.
Yeah.
So that's why I changed my name, Akin Africa.
Yeah.
So my actual name is Akin Yemi. And it's Yoruba, Nigerian.
Yeah.
You know, and I found out literally 15 years later that I hit the nail on the head when I did my African ancestry.
Wow.
That the name that I chose was the name from my tribe, my family's tribe in Africa.
Wow.
So that let me know even more that I was on the right path.
That's really a blessing.
It was destined for me to be great and be better. You know what I mean? Not just be a street dude, drug dealer on some BS. You know what I mean? So that was a blessing for me. So that just gave me more power to just keep moving in the forward direction. And then once I started making money, because I didn't change to make money,
Right.
I changed to be a better person. I wanted to be a better son, better father, better friend, better brother, better human being.
Yeah.
Just so happened,
Amen to that.
I had a blessing to learn to know how to make money.
Yeah.
And it was just so easy. It really was.
Yeah.
People talk about shit being hard, but
Like, it
nah, it
wasn't
ain't
for you.
hard.
You just got to figure out your
Yeah.
lane.
You spend a year in solitary in the hole in prison by yourself. You know what I mean? That's hard.
That's right.
And I did
People
that.
don't know real hard for real.
Yeah.
And that's hard. I chose, and we define what's hard, right?
Mm-hmm.
We define what's easy. We really do. It's a mind state.
Oh my.
Right. I
It's
agree.
it's literally a
It's
mind
us
state.
against us for real.
Yeah, whatever you
What'd you say
say.
earlier? The mirror?
Deaf mirrors for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So
So
that was the change. Yeah.
So from the restaurant business that you're on, like I know you got the Zanzibar, the Angie's, right? Do you have a favorite food out of these restaurants that you personally like? No, I got to ask a fan
keeping it
question
real.
too.
I'm going to be honest, man, and I'm not being biased. I swear I'm not.
Okay.
Between Angie's and Zanzibar, we do the best soul
Y'all
food
do.
in Northeast Ohio.
There
I
we
don't care
go.
what nobody
Shout
says.
it out again.
And the person step up
You said,
You know, I hear
try it.
people come in and be like, oh, my grandmother sell mac and cheese. Well, your grandmother ain't built a mansion off her mac and cheese. You know what I
mac
mean?
and cheese,
Keeping
yeah.
it real. Like,
Yeah.
ours might not be the best, but we sell the most.
We sell the
You know what I
most.
mean? And I'm keeping it real. So the Cleveland Breakfast Club, man, we got some things on there that nobody can touch
That's
us
true.
on.
Right.
Are we the best at everything? No.
Right.
But
But
it's definitely it ain't too
we got
many
some
complaints
things.
about no
Yeah.
food being nasty.
Yeah.
I really like seriously.
and then the vegan club, oh my God.
Crazy. I had they have this
I had
pasta.
their food.
Yeah.
No, you have to have this pasta.
Yeah.
And like they
Yeah.
have so much variety. Like it feels like you're not
Regular
even.
food.
I swear.
No,
Like,
it
portion
is
is
regular.
the
I mean,
goat.
regular food, but
It's
vegan
better.
Shout out to
is
you,
is
girl.
better food for your body.
It's better than regular food. Keeping it real, bro.
Yeah.
It's and I'm not trying to turn
He said
anybody
better.
vegan.
Yeah.
Because 80% of the people that go to the vegan club are not vegan.
Yeah.
They're just looking for
good
healthier
food.
alternatives.
Yeah. Right.
To eat plant-based and get away from the meats. Because if you get away from a minute, just a minute,
Yeah.
you will find that when you go back to it, you will see
The difference.
why it's not good for you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I'm not, and that's what I tell people. Don't come to the vegan club thinking these Impossible Burgers and Beyond Burgers at Burger King.
Right.
This ain't
It's a
what
whole
you
different
think it
level.
is.
Yeah,
It's a whole different.
it's real.
It's
Yeah.
real food.
It's real food.
It's great
He
food.
right.
It
Like
is.
that.
So, I have 7 locations, 7 restaurants right now. I
Okay.
have 10 within the next 3 months.
Wow.
So I'm opening up another Angie's on
Okay.
123rd and Superior. I'm opening up a restaurant with my little cousin called To the Last Drop on 2005 Harvard.
Nice.
I'm opening up the last location in Atlanta on Sandy Springs on Roswell Road.
You got restaurants in Atlanta too?
Well, this will be the first.
Okay.
This will be the first with a partner.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Come on now, Akin.
Yeah. Yeah.
so
Oh,
2
bro. That's super dope.
Zanzibars, 3 Angie's right now. So currently 2 Zanzibars, 3 Angie's, Cleveland Breakfast Club, and the Vegan Club. So 7 right now.
Wow.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Right.
We gotta give a round of applause for that right there. That's impressive. That's
really
that's
is.
a masterpiece right there
Yeah.
for sure.
That's why I say, and through all of this, like I was watching one of your recent videos,
Mm-hmm.
and you were talking about how all this really doesn't mean much. Like you will sell anything has a number.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
not being attached to like your projects,
Mm-hmm.
like where does that come from?
Losing it. Losing it. Having it and losing it.
Yeah.
Having it and losing it. I spoke on a panel yesterday at the event, and the catchphrase of the event was teaching people how to win. Well, that's fine and dandy.
Right.
But I also like to teach people how to lose.
Yeah. Lose,
Like,
give lessons.
A lot of people don't know how
That's
to
true.
lose.
And
You know what I
it does
mean?
mess up their whole everything.
It's not a bad thing
Yeah.
to take a loss.
Right.
And for me, I've had it, lost it, had it, lost it, had it, and lost it again. And what I learned is
You're not afraid to fail.
I'm not afraid to fail, and it don't
like
make me
that.
less than a man to lose something.
Right.
And I'm a 100% bona fide hustler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My philosophy is you put me literally what Jay said, put me any place on this earth and I'm gonna triple my worth. Put me any place on this world
Right.
and I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll figure out the
Period.
layout and figure
I'm
out how
gonna
to
figure
make
out the
something
layout
happen.
and I'm gonna figure out how to eat
Man,
because I'm a
that's
hunter.
right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm fearless when it comes to that. I don't care about taking risk and taking chances or any of that. You
Right.
know what I mean? But it's calculated risk. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
you're not
don't
just out here
just,
doing anything. Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not a gambler.
So-
I go to Vegas
Yeah.
3 times a year and I don't gamble.
Yeah,
Because
I'm
I
not a
gamble
gambler
in
either.
Cleveland.
Yeah.
I gamble in business every day.
Yeah.
But I it's calculated gambling.
What you said earlier that really stood out though is like you said I have a system,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody I'm from talk about food chains
Mm-hmm.
to hustlers to moguls and businesses. Everybody has a system for work.
Absolutely.
Amazon. So
Yeah, absolutely.
the fact that you have a system, it shows that once you create a system, it will flourish.
Yeah.
You know,
It's almost like bona fide not to fail. Like I know you
Yeah.
said you prepared for that, but like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said, you have a strategic plan.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, and as much as I talk about myself, I have to say I've been super blessed more than anything else. 50% of my success has been dependent on the people that I surround myself with.
Yes.
My personal friends, my business partners.
Yeah.
That's 100%, 50% of my success. Even my contractors, my real estate agents,
Your
my
team is
appraisers, my
amazing.
property managers, my attorneys, my accountants.
Yeah.
You know, everybody is 50% part of my success.
Yeah.
You know, without a doubt. So that choose wisely. If I can't really pound anything else, choose wisely who you spend your time with.
I agree.
It's
so
important. And it took me so many years to learn that. That's why I kept ending up back in prison.
Yeah.
When you about to lose your shit,
Yeah.
do you have somebody in your life that's going to smack you down? And,
Yeah.
no, you can't do this. You got to do it like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they going to be like, let's ride.
Yeah.
Let's ride.
Yeah. Somebody
You know.
go with you. Now y'all both in the gym.
Yeah.
Yes.
You want that person to say, let's ride, after he smacked you, plays devil's advocate and say, is this our only choice?
Is this our
Can
only
we do
choice?
another option?
Do we have any other options?
Yeah.
Because
I agree.
don't get
I
it.
like
I got them riders too.
Right,
But
right.
they ain't just going to ride just in the dark.
Yeah.
I used to have them guys that rode in the dark,
Yeah.
and luckily I was able to get away from that. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Right.
Because I was one of them guys that rode in the dark for my dudes.
Yeah.
You know, it don't matter. Just say it. Let's go.
Let's go.
But I had to say, man, you know, life is a little more important. My family is a little more important than that.
So I know we did the mental health, but I do like want you to like give some gems to people that are hustlers that want to transition and don't have a way out, because you know what I'm saying, we all come from a hood, but you know what I'm saying, we got this podcast, we doing things that are changing people's lives for them to show them like, hey, you have a star quality, you have a potential to be great, and you came from the hood too, and now look at you, you're great. You got places in Atlanta, you got over 100 doors from what you said. So if you could leave some gems for the people and just talk about like, hey, give them something for them to look up to and to strive for.
Again, the most important thing is information and knowledge and time. How you spend your time. Money, I guarantee you can get money.
Right.
Especially from somebody that got money. If you bring value to me, I'm going to spend the money with you. If you bring in value, I'm going to support you. I'm going to change your life. Right. If you can bring real value to me to add more dollar signs to my bottom line, right? So the information and the knowledge is invaluable, right? And the great thing in this day and age, we live in a world that is at our fingertips.
It's all information.
We could just
right?
That cell phone.
The hardest part is deciphering from the BS, the fakers, and the people that's faking in front. You know,
Clout chasers and stuff.
I'm so tired of hearing people on IG and TikTok and talking about this is how millionaires live, but they never had a million because they read something or heard something, they copying off something else.
Right.
So you have to decipher through
the
that
good
BS.
talkers and the real people.
You have to decide, because it's a lot of, anybody can be whoever they want to be on IG.
That is true.
I know so many people, especially since I've been in Atlanta, that I used to follow on IG. Since I met them in person, I already see they was faking in front.
Yeah.
They ain't really got that. They ain't really living like this. They ain't really got the money. They might look like it, but they up here in debt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Trying to show off for the world.
One, definitely living beyond their means, and that's one of the biggest things. So I had to learn that through trial and error, that's very important also, is living within your means. And people say, well, how do I make you get more means? Or you reduce your living expenses, period. You keep grinding until you get to where you want to be.
Right.
But all that faking and fronting,
you said, I'm not
like
doing
who
all
you
that.
who
even I saw one of your videos too a while back, and you was talking about like your simplicity and what you wearing and stuff like that. Like you don't care about trying to keep up with nobody, keep up with the Joneses, they say.
I don't,
which is my last name, but it's okay.
Yeah. At this point in my life, what I've learned, a couple of things from that, what you just said, the more successful I am, the more money I got, I find that the less that I care about those things, right? That's the reality. Whatever makes me happy. So people can, man, you got black on every day. So what? That's
Black draws in energy.
It's energy for me, but it's also simple. I can pick something from here, and it's all gonna match, right? It don't matter. So I don't, spend my time on that little miscellaneous things. And this is what I learned for people that's trying to make that transition. Get the information, get the knowledge, humble yourself.
Yes.
Don't think you got it all figured out because you made a couple dollars, made 50, 100, or whatever. That's little money. It's nothing. 6 figures is nothing in 2023.
Right.
You make one trip up. It's not life-changing forever. Until you get real money you never got to work again. That's real money.
That's real money.
Because real money is not about the money. It equates to what? Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom of your time. You know what I mean? For me, I have freedom. I do what I want to do when I want to do it. If I want to get on the flight today, tomorrow, whatever, my lifestyle is not going to change. Nobody in my life is going to miss a meal from what I'm doing with my personal time.
Yeah.
So that's real money. And don't get it twisted. I'm not the richest.
Yeah.
I'm wealthy.
Yeah.
Because wealthy is not about number. Wealthy is having enough money to do what you want to do when you want to do it.
Yeah.
It's not about a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm wealthy. I'm wealthy with knowledge. I'm wealthy with information. I'm wealthy spiritually. You know what I mean? And I'm wealthy financially.
There we go.
So I have true wealth. So until you get to that number in your life that you can do what you want to do when you want to do, you need to keep grinding, right? So make the transition, take the money. Don't just run out and buy a business, open up a business because you see somebody else successful with that. That don't guarantee you're going to be successful. And even worse, you're looking from the outside in. Just because you see that they got a business, that don't equate to success. They might be struggling.
Yeah.
Right.
Just because they driving the Benz, that don't equate to success. They might be paying $1,200 a month on the car note.
Right.
Because that ain't real success.
Right.
You know, I'm not bragging or anything. Everything I drive paid for. Everything.
Yeah.
Nobody does that these days.
Yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Unless you a rapper or artist or anything. So and I tell people, because I'm not faking, I'm not fronting. I'm living a real lifestyle. And that's what you have to strive for. So one of my dudes like to say, who's teaching you? Who are you learning from? You got to be careful on
Who you learning from?
who you getting that information from. Some people love to popularize debt.
Yeah.
Why use your own money when you can use somebody else's money?
Right.
And
They say
I'm
that's like
not
the money in America.
I'm not knocking anybody. My philosophy is, if it's working for you, do whatever you do. If it's working for you. But most people, they don't even know it's not working for them. It didn't work for me. I lost everything. I had the debt. I lost it all.
Right.
I lost it all.
Had to get it back.
I had to get it back. I bought Juvade cash from her father. And one of my friends convinced me to refinance it. Why you got all this money sitting in this building? You could take that money. I took the money and didn't do nothing with it, blew it, then lost the building.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have the information and the knowledge.
And the advice was not given right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because he didn't know. He didn't know. I'm not knocking him. He didn't know any better. We had to learn these lessons later in life. So part of it, man, I've read so much.
Failure builds
book.
character, though.
Yeah. Every business book, every investment book. You know, Rich Dad, Poor Dad was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
if I can recommend that. Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery by Naeem Akbar. Top 10 for sure.
Y'all hear these
Knowledge,
books?
right.
He's sharing y'all wealth books.
Yeah, Visions for Black Men, top 10 for sure. You know, those are my top 10 or in my top 10.
Right.
Those were books that helped shape who I am and changed my life.
Yeah.
You know, books that when you read them, you got to read it over and over again.
Really get to it.
Like, wow.
Like
and
rewatching a movie.
Yeah, and listen, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery and Visions for Black Men, they're less than 90 pages.
Wow.
So it's a quick read.
Very quick
And
reads.
getting great knowledge.
Yeah, I keep 5 of them on my bookshelves because I give them away when dudes in prison or coming home from prison. As soon as one of my dudes go to jail,
You sending the book.
I send him that book, read that. You know what I mean? And call me and let's talk about it.
Right.
So when somebody coming home from prison that they didn't have a chance to read it, I give it to them. Somebody young, I give them to them.
That's super dope.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
for
love
sure.
that. Give it up for Akin, Africa, y'all.
Let's give it up.
We really appreciate you for coming on our
100%
podcast.
appreciate
We know you a
I
busy
want a copy
man.
of that book too.
And today was family day, but
Okay.
you came and you came on our show. We appreciate you so much.
You missed the Brown games for us.
I
Like,
don't even watch sports, bro.
I don't either.
Yeah,
but
I don't watch it,
most
yeah.
people do. But
Yeah, trust me, I know.
we
I
definitely
know. I don't
definitely
watch
appreciate
it.
you for
Yeah.
coming on the Midwest Takeoff.
Yes,
It was an
thank
honor
you.
to meet you and all of Cleveland, man. I just thank
I
you.
Tune
appreciate
in.
it.
Man, and that was episode 7, season
Episode
2.
7,
We had
season 2.
Akin, Africa. We just had this great interview, great knowledge.
Yes.
And make sure y'all stay tuned right now because y'all about to watch DFG Soul, okay? And Lord
Lord
Luke.
Luke.
Make sure y'all tap in.
Tap in. Stay tuned.
How y'all doing? It's your boy DFG Saul, the first Christian hip-hop R&B artist on the Midwest Takeoff with Troop Nation and Mila Topics. How many of y'all know that if you put a frog inside of a pot, they won't realize when you put the water on boil, when the water starts boiling, they getting cooked. That's how we are with sin. We put our foot in the water just to see if it's cool enough to get in the pool. That's how we are. We ain't trying to be like that. So that's what the song is called, Falling. Our people keep falling because he sent his son to die and rise on the third day. Now we can rise up. Hope y'all like this record. It sound like Quell. Use me, Lord. Hey. Most of us act like the frog in the pot. Hopping with cold, but when it get hot, we don't realize that when it sink, kick in and knock at the door like the cops, the devil the op. He wanna kill, destroy, he tryna ruin the plot. God got plans for your light. Tell me if he call your name, will you reply? You got a purpose that you can't deny. It's more than light, the chains and nice. I know it look good, but all that glitters ain't gold. You better open your eyes. God can do anything. Right now you struggling, out here hustling, he changed your life. Did it before, he can do it again. You just need the faith, the size of a mustard seed. If you're dirty, my God can make you clean like a car wash. And if you win them chains, he can set you free. With his love, you could coast like an eagle's wings. If you need him, just call him, he listening. He won't need no for say what's the incident. Just confess with your mouth and repent to him. To get back on the road like Michelin. Like go up and down like Tetris. Don't be alarmed, it's supposed to happen. Who much is given, much is tested. Every day giving is such a blessing. Make it count, no matter how big or small, it can help you make it out. That's no doubt. For God I live, won't stop on red. The truth gon' make it out. I gotta go dummy. The way just sin is death, I know. My people been falling, they clumsy. The victory is won upon that cross. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. For God I gotta go dummy. Hey, the way just sin is death, I know. My people been falling, they clumsy. Hey, the victory is won upon that cross. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on. That's not your soul, that's El Dorito. Watch the blessings unfurl, no front, no T-bow. Favor long as a trench coat, send me, I go far. Hotel single, one day trying to get caught in that rapture. I was told about that from my pastor, trying to help all my family. Y'all to let them know you can't serve two masters, only one. The Bible told me that I swear I gotta keep the truth, that's how I begun. Now every time I get to flipping pages, man, the devil, he'll start to run. 66 clicks to kill him. Why? It ain't truth, I don't feel it. Why? I'm just trying to give him God. Going hard as acrylic, yeah. The truth what they need. I got it indeed, yeah. He can set you free. Provide all your needs. For God, I gotta go dummy. The way just sin is death, I know. My people been falling, they clumsy. The victory is won upon that cross. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. For God, I gotta go dummy. Hey, the way just sin is death, I know. My people been falling, they clumsy. Hey, the victory is won upon that cross. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on falling. To the devil is a rat like a mummy. Hey, they keep on.
This sound like Quell.
There we go. That was fire. Yeah. I like that.
What up with the gang, man? It's Lord Luke, you feel me? Shout out to the Midwest Takeoff, man. I'm here live.
And this your boy DFG. So I brought my boy Lord Luke, and we about to do our new record title. Thank you. Let's go.
Thank you for all you done for me. Your love is real, you are amazing, and you're worthy to be praised, yeah. Thank you for all you done for me. Times make it hard, I might get scarred, but you won't forsake. Lord, I speak with all my mind, but I give thanks with all my heart. You gave me light when it was dark. I needed life, you gave me art. It got me through so many obstacles. Worried about my bank account so much I forgot I had to hold myself accountable. I'm always grateful. Because of you, I know I'm able to forgive people I know could never sit back at my table trying to get better with scripture so I can paint a better picture. Cause the pictures that we seeing inside this world can be distasteful when life been lifing, bills been billing. Kings killing kings cause of the pressure they been feeling. Devil promoting anger in these places I need healing. That's why my granny always got her hands up to the ceiling and she screaming Jesus. We just imperfect leaders, thankful that our God can lead us. And we know Jesus need us. Even to spell Jesus, you know that you gon' need us. At the end of it all, you gave me grace, I give you me. Ain't no pretending at all.
Thank you for all you done for me. Your love is real, you are amazing, and you're worthy to be praised. Yeah. Thank you for all you done for me. Times make it hard, I might get scarred, but you won't forsake. You are amazing in all of your ways. Every time feels alright, like you are amazing. I thank you for what you done in my life.
I'm not perfect, but I'm definitely worth it. I be in them scriptures, John say the devil flees when you start resisting. So I'm out here on a mission, repenting when never sinning. In the streets like Peter Fisher, really none of the ones I'm missing. He came and he made a way. I was lost, but God came and he done saved the day. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Watch and see the Lord is good, come and get you a taste. Yeah.
Thank you for all you done for me. Your love is real, you are amazing, and you're worthy to be praised. Yeah. Thank you for all you done for me. Times make it hard, I might get scarred, but you won't forsake.
Thank you, what you done for me. Always there for me.
Man, we appreciate each and every one of y'all for watching our season 2, episode 7. Super dope. Make sure y'all like, share,
subscribe, and
tell
stay
a friend,
tuned.
tell a friend.
And tell a friend.
Each episode keep getting better. We appreciate y'all.